Welcome back to the 13th Destiny podcast with Magnum. I am your host, James Magnum Cook. And of course, as normal, I've got my co-host standing by there in San Diego, Danielle Long. Hello, Danielle.
Hi, everybody.
There she is. And we also have a guest with us that will be coming here in just a few minutes. We have her on the line standing by to interview her today. She's a psychic medium, and her name is Nancy, and it's going to be a fun show. This is going to be the first time that Danielle and I have been able to do a guest show together. But anyway, let me get some brief news and advertisement stuff out of the way real quick for some things that I've got going on. First thing, something related to what we're doing today over on higgypop.com. If you have these abilities and psychic abilities, they want you to submit your predictions for 2024. That should be pretty interesting. Have some fun with that. As you know, I kind of like that site, and a lot of people that follow the paranormal actually like that site. Get some news from that normally. But today I've kind of done a little bit different. I'm not going to do a lot of the news off today because we have a great interview show coming up. I got three things to say real quick. I want to say thank you to the Holiday Inn University Plaza Hotel here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. As you know, I've been doing business with them for 20-some years. A great place to go and visit. You can also, even as a local or otherwise, you can even visit their Heartland Cafe, and I have breakfast buffet with them every once in a while. So it's a pretty great place and great staff. They treat you like, and the management too, they treat you like family. It's a really, really nice place. Like I said, I've been doing business with them for 20 years. Also, want to shout out to the Casey Jones Distillery over in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. I'm working on getting back to them about an interview I promised them sometime back. And apparently they did actually, I had no idea they were listening to the show, but someone that is affiliated with them listened to the show and heard that I was doing the Casey Jones Moonshine last episode. So that's kind of funny. But anyway, that is the legal moonshine here in Kentucky. And so it's a big shout out to them. And also, big shout out to the Bowling Green Police Department, the Western Kentucky University Police Department, and our Sheriff's Department and State Police here in the local area. Apparently, I have people from all of those agencies listening to the show, and thank you for your support. And we appreciate everything you do for us too. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's get into this great interview show with Nancy. Nancy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There she is. All right. Danielle, would you like to go first on questions, or do you want me to go first on questions with Nancy?
Oh, let's just start out. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Nancy Bornscher. She's a medium.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Nancy?
I'm mother of 2 boys and 1 girl, and I have 4 grandsons and a granddaughter. And I'm an Aquarius, so I love to constantly be learning things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How did you discover your abilities as a medium?
Well, ever since I was a kid, I knew I could see spirits. I didn't really realize that they were spirits then, but you know, when you tell people that there's somebody standing behind you and they like, who, you know, you start to catch on as you grow that, you know, that's a lot of people can't see it and, you know, are a little uneasy about it. So you learn to just try to ignore it. But I've seen spirits my whole life. And,
Awesome.
and it's, you don't, a lot of people, they think you got to talk with your mouth, but you don't, because I could just think and speak with them. I don't have to use my mouth, so it's not like I'm like causing a big scene, like I'm having a conversation with myself.
Oh, that's incredible.
Like a lot of people think, like on that show where you're sitting there talking to somebody that nobody else can see.
Oh, very neat, very neat.
Yeah. And there might be some people that don't know what a medium is exactly. Can you tell us?
Basically, we reach the ones that have crossed over. Now, it depends on the loved one that crossed over, too, because there are a lot of them may not be comfortable with speaking with a medium or that particular medium. I've had some that didn't want to speak, but they would give me, like, visions. I did this one reading for this girl for her birthday. I got her dad. He didn't want to talk, but he was sitting there having a conversation with somebody else leaning against a car. But he kept showing me visions, like of her chasing a goose in the backyard. And she's giggling and running, and her ponytails are flopping. And so I'm assuming that was just a fond memory that he had of her when she was younger.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What misconceptions do people often have about mediumship?
Well, they're always skeptical. So usually if I do reach a loved one for them, I always try to ask them for something concrete that only maybe that person would know. So that way they know for sure that they're actually I'm talking to the person that they're wanting to be talking to.
Right.
So they'll describe something maybe in their home. That's something I would not possibly have any way of knowing.
Okay. All right.
I've had some tell me like they'll move pictures on their like dressers or where stuff like that. So I'll tell them to like put some baby powder around the picture, and then they'll notice that it's been moved.
Ooh.
And then that's a good sign that their loved ones there moving the picture. Well, this one lady, she's like everything's gonna be perfect, and her daughter has passed over, and she just loves to mess everything up, just to irritate her mom.
Oh, that's very neat.
So I told her, I said, do you see those? I said, you ever notice that your pictures on the wall kind of go crooked? And she goes, yeah. I said, it's your daughter. And she's like, she gets a kick out of doing that to you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they do have a great sense of humor on the other side, too. So that's what I love about it.
They do.
Yeah. Hey, Nancy, this is Magnum. So talking about this, can you kind of explain the difference between a psychic and then just a psychic, or can you, or do you know what exactly is the difference?
Mediums basically, the mediums talk to loved ones that crossed over. Psychics, they basically deal with the here and the now.
Okay.
The today, like your everyday activities in life. And I always tell people, anytime you go to a psychic, your free will can change things like drastically. Like if you oversleep the next day, your whole path has changed.
Oh, I can believe that.
Someone will ask me like, is this guy going to like me? Yeah, well, yeah, he likes you now, but tomorrow, you show up with your hair.
Oh, that's a very interesting.
Yeah, things might change.
So it's kind of like that.
If you're rude to him.
Right. So it's kind of like that thing about going through one door one day, or going through a different. Yeah, I get that. Okay, that's pretty neat. I'd never actually thought about it.
People don't.
You tell people what?
Don't state your life on a psychic reading. It's just as a guidance.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay.
To give you some, an idea of what might be happening.
Right. Okay. Well, I think everything is fluid anyway.
So it's like if you decided about moving, they can kind of tell you, well, that this place might suit you better than that place, so it'll help you kind of make that decision if you're stuck with not knowing which way to go.
Well, I think that could be good for anybody, right? Yeah, I get that.
Everybody needs a little guidance once in a while, especially if you're in a slump and you're just not really sure,
right,
where things are heading.
I feel that one. Believe me, I do. I feel that one sometimes. Yeah. Danielle, what would you like to ask next? I'll send it back to you.
Well, let's see. Let me think. Can you share a memorable experience where your mediumship had a significant impact on someone's life?
The first spirit I read was my friend. Actually, we're best friends still. It was her brother. He was in a motorcycle accident. or car accident, I'm sorry. And she missed him. And, that's when I lost my dad, I was like 10 years, I was just in a fog, and I finally reached out to a medium, and, she reached my dad, and I was actually able to heal better after that. It was like, I didn't want to let him go. And, well, when I started reading this spirit, it was my first time. I was working with a mentor, and I remember I could feel this. He took me to his favorite swimming hole, and I could feel the sun on my skin. And then he liked to pop willies on his bike, and he did. I nailed it, and I'm like, you guys. And she's in England. I'm like, you guys have nailed it over there in England. She goes, yeah. And she laughed about it. I was like, I just now recently started hearing my kids say that, And so he's been gone for a while, and so they had nailed it over there. But and I even named the motorcycle, and she was just so amazed, and it really just brings to just know they're okay, because it helps you feel better. And I know I was just like in awe when they were telling me about my dad, because he was still arguing with my mom. I was like, yeah, I could see that.
I like the
I told my mom, why don't you just go over there and sit down? I'm talking. My dad used to do that all the time.
Aww.
And so that's a lot of times how you'll know that they're actually talking. They'll mention things that, that your loved one uses a lot, like, names that they call you. I actually was watching someone singing on an app, and I was like, did you have a name named so-and-so? And he's like, yeah, how'd you know? And I was like, I don't know, I just kept hearing it in my ear. And it was something, abnormal, too. And I almost didn't want to ask, but yeah. His wife had crossed over, so I'm assuming she was the one that was telling me it.
Oh, that's a bit a little touchy, couldn't it?
And these, like anybody says, gifts can be a curse or a blessing. Sometimes you see things you don't want to see, and hear things you don't necessarily want to hear. But you have to have a lot of guidance. You got to learn how to deal with it. And I have had spirits wake me up out of bed, and I was like, "What's going on? What's going on? Is there fire?" And I've heard my name right in my ear, wake me right up out of bed. I was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna stay up just in case." I'm not sure why I got woke up, but I'm just not gonna go back to bed right now, because you never know why. I mean,
right.
So yeah, I always want to make sure everything is good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Somebody tried to.
Bothering you.
Yeah, someone tried to call. Someone tried to call through on the phone.
Yeah, I tell them, I'm still alive here. I need sleep. You guys need to let me sleep.
Protection wall that you put up or anything?
Black onyx.
At the spiritual school, and I was told to put like a protection wall up around me, so I don't have anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I wear a black onyx cross. That's good for protection, and I have a heart-shaped tiger's eye necklace. And you can put crystals around your bed too. That always helps. A lot of people do that. Crystals are really good for all kinds of medicinal purposes.
Wow, I'm learning all kinds of stuff.
Why would crystal protect you?
They give off, well, like everything in the world, there's energy. And every object has its own energy. And those energies, cancer was actually cured like 100 years ago, and it was with sound, which is waves like energy. So basically, each crystal and mineral and everything gives off its own energy. And when you put like a group of them, you got a lot of that same energy going into you. And that's how a lot of Reiki that will use them for healing.
Okay.
Like amethyst is known for health. Amethyst is good for healing. They use that a lot. And then black onyx is good for protection. And they use clear crystal quartz. They use that for cleansing their stones, other crystals. Like you lay them out during the full moon. That helps refuel them. I know they have protection bracelets now. If you have a protection bracelet break on you, you're supposed to get it out of the house and remove it, and don't wear it. You take the beads and you throw them in something. You throw it in your trash outside your house.
I didn't know
that. Yeah, they've absorbed a lot of energy.
Ooh.
So you don't want to wear them no more. Yeah, if it breaks, especially if it breaks off your wrist. Yeah, that's another thing when you get into this spiritual walk, you learn things as you go along. And I'm me being Aquarius, I'm a sponge for knowledge.
Like that.
So I love learning the things. I love learning everything. Like these sound bowls, those are so relaxing. And they actually have sound therapy. And so those sound bowls are about basically the same thing as going in and having sound therapy done, which you can watch on YouTube. You just lay back on your recliner, your couch, and you just turn it on and listen. And they got all kinds of like chakra healing and all kinds of different healings on there with sound. And you just lay there and relax like you're taking your afternoon nap.
Yeah.
Or you got a few minutes, you can put your earplugs in and listen. Those
nice.
sound bowls sound so beautiful too. They're very relaxing. If you're having a stressful day too, that's a good way to relax.
See, she's talking to me now, Danielle.
Oh yeah, after one of your podcasts, you can put those sound bowls on and
I love it. That's awesome.
let the world melt away.
Right. So you mentioned something, and it caught my attention. So how do you handle an emotionally sensitive and challenging, like reading or something like that? I'm assuming you can do that.
Yeah, I was telling Danielle this morning, I did read a gentleman on 9/11. That was in 9/11 on one of the Twin Towers.
Oh.
And this was actually during class when I did this. And I actually screamed when the stairs went out from underneath his feet and he fell.
Oh, wow.
And I was shaking and crying. It really like shocked me too. And I could feel the pressure from the cement on his body. Basically, as if I was him. And his main regret was that he had that 10-year plan. And so he knew that he was going to make it, and he would never have the joy of having a wife and a child.
Oh my goodness! So did you do a reading on him before? Did you do a reading on him before the attack, or I mean?
No, I just.
Or did you just sense
during
it?
Class when we're trying to get built our gift. You just read. We'll meditate for a minute, and I go with the strongest spirit that's coming across.
Oh my goodness!
And then I just let them tell their story.
Oh.
I did read this one in class. It was over at the Alps forest, and the lady, one of the girls, had actually brought a newspaper clipping in the next day in class of that exact person I was reading. And I thought that was really interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, he'd actually got. I seen him going like to the edge of a cliff, and he was like looking over, and then he fell. Well, kind of find out he had been pushed.
Ooh! Wow.
Yeah, it was a murder.
Oh my goodness.
He'd been murdered, and she found it, and because it described it. I described what he was wearing, and he had a backpack on and a hat, and it was all right there in the newspaper clipping.
Well, that's incredible.
There was one time online actually. I got into this chat group. I don't know how. And there was a lady that came up missing. She was like, she went to the park, and sat in her car.
Mm-hmm.
And I got onto the chat, and I was listening, and I had a vision of her being, there was how they junk freezers and stoves and stuff like that along the waters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, there's somewhere on there's a junk pile. And she was actually stuck inside that refrigerator. And they went and checked, and that's where she was. They couldn't find her body.
Oh, my goodness.
But I could see her in that. I said, there's a fridge or something, like an old junk fridge that somebody threw over. I said, you guys need to check around the water for places where they throw junk.
Oh, my goodness.
And, I got word that they actually found her. And she'd left her window down just enough for somebody to get their hand in.
Oh my goodness! So that actually goes back to a previous show that Danielle and I were talking about. Psychics and stuff being used by law enforcement and stuff. So that's interesting. Wow. So when I
was in class, I used to tell people how to find their lost items. I was getting kind of good at that.
you got an ability that the former PI don't have. I like it. That's funny.
Yeah. I just wish I could find my own things, though.
Oh! I was going to ask you real quick, whether or not you had. It's harder to home in on something for yourself than it is for somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I see things like my son was 7 at the time. I was sitting there messing with the radio station. We were out fishing. I seen him fall in, and I was sitting there messing with the radio station. I said, "Steven, back away from the water before you fall in." And I no more went to turn the knob again, and I heard splash, splash.
Oh my goodness!
Him and then my husband jumped in because my son fell in, and my husband jumped in.
Wow.
And I didn't see my husband jump in, but I did see my son fell in. I get lots of little split moments like that. And like Christmas time, I see myself dropping the mashed potatoes, so I went to a different counter. I still dropped them, but I saved half the pan. So, yeah. Or one time I seen I was going to step on my glasses, so I moved them, and I did step on them, but I didn't break them because I moved them, but I should have moved them further, and I should have listened.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes I get mad at myself because I don't listen to my vision.
Okay, so on that...
And then it actually happens.
So a quick question on that real quick. So I guess if you can see something, you can kind of change it, right? Correct?
Yeah, if you...
Okay.
But sometimes, I've had a friend, she actually sees things that happen, but you don't know where it's happening.
Oh.
So she gets to see it, but she has no clue where it's going on at.
Oh, that's rough, isn't it? Wow.
And yeah, everybody has this gift. It's just if you hone in on it, But a lot of people have feelings.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Yeah, not right.
Okay. That's actually a question I had for you.
Kind of thing.
That's actually a question I had for you about abilities, and is this does everyone have that ability? And some people have it easier than others, and some people just have.
Honing in on it and working on it. The more you use it, the stronger it will become.
Oh, okay. I'll learn something new. I'll learn something new. So.
Yeah. And then visions and that I really can't say. But your gut instinct is basically a psychic ability.
Okay.
And your gut instinct, everybody in the world, your gut instinct is always correct. It's your body's way of warning you something's about to happen.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much I have personally, because I told Danielle this on a previous, I don't know if we were talking on the phone or we were just on the show. I think it might have been on the show and the phone. But I told her there's something that happens with me every once in a while, like somewhere I haven't been in a while, and it'll just come to mind in the next, I do DoorDash when I'm not doing the podcast. Well, anyway, I'll just have like somewhere I just haven't been in a while. I was like, I wonder why I haven't been there in a while. And the next thing you know, it pops up and I go, what? It's just like, what?
Yeah.
How weird.
See, I've heard that's past lives.
Right?
Because your spirit will keep repeating something until it learns whatever lesson it has to learn.
Oh.
So a lot of times we end up in the same places that we've been before.
Interesting. Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah. A lot of times our paths will follow almost the same path that we did before.
Well, that is fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you learn that lesson, then your next lifetime, your path will be altered a little bit because you learned that lesson.
Oh, okay. All right. Danielle, what else?
Yeah, because we're all come to Earth for learning.
Right. Danielle, what's your next question?
That Doria and Connor, she says, it's the hardest school there.
Right. Danielle, you got a next question for Nancy?
Yeah. Personally, I want to know, like, have you, like, met anything, like, spirit that was evil and didn't want to leave you alone and scared the crap out of you?
No, I've never met one evil. I have woke up with one holding me down where I couldn't breathe, and I'm for sure. I've had a lot of this, like, where you're in a dream, you just can't move, and you can't, like, speak or scream or anything in your dream. You're just kind of, like, paralyzed, and you're just, like, fighting to scream.
Sleep paralysis?
It's kind of like that, but, you just, I guess I have a will to live, so I just kept fighting, and eventually, I got up, I was like, don't you ever do that again. That's the main thing, too. If you do have one that's, like, rebellious, you want to be authoritative, like a dog, if you got a stray dog coming in your yard, you want to act authoritative, use that male voice, and you like, don't you even come in this yard. You go right back home, be the ruler over it.
I like it.
And tell them, I did not welcome you into my house, so you leave. Yeah.
Would they feed off your fear? So if you don't act afraid and just pretend like they're not there, doesn't that help? That helps.
And plus, you didn't give them an authority to be in your home, so they have to leave. They're not allowed to be in your home. That's why they always tell you, don't welcome things in. Because once you welcome them in, then you're just a whole other process to get rid of them. I did this one guy, he had an attachment to a chair, and he burnt the chair. And there's one arm would not, he had a heck of a time getting that one arm to burn. And that's probably what he was attached to.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Wow. And that's what we found too. We were like, that's cool. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the last nursing home, I lived in a nursing home. They turned it into an apartment building. We did it with the witching hour. We did a reading, and the guy I was working with, Ghost Hunter, he actually makes the apps in Pennsylvania, and he did his at 3, and then I did my person, and he did his, and we had the spirits telling us that they were stuck there because they moved the walls, which we kind of thought that was kind of different. That they would be stuck because the building was rearranged. But I know a lot of people stir up spirits by remodeling homes.
Oh.
They don't like it.
That's interesting.
And then when I moved here, we had we could hear there was a spirit here, and I just called him Bob, not thinking nothing of it. That like the toilet was flush, or you hear something walk across the floor. Oh, that's just Bob. To find out. The spirit's name really is Bob.
Oh, really?
I had no clue.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I was sitting here talking to somebody when we were ghost hunting. It's like, do you know you have a spirit there named Bob? I was like, you're kidding me. His name's really Bob. I said, that's why I've been calling him ever since we moved in. I had no clue. Yeah, his name really is Bob. But he had trouble hearing, so I was like, is he Bob? My kids are like, no, he can't hear very well. He actually finds you all entertaining. I said, well, that's a good thing.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And then when the room downstairs, I always seen cats out of the corner of my eye. Come to find out, my oldest son's woman's grandma used to live here, and she had cats in that room. I was like, well, I see him once in a while. And I described her room where her grandma had the bed, and she had this big one, those big white fluffy chairs, and then a dresser about the waist high because they like to bounce back and forth from the chair to the dresser. And then a stack of newspapers almost as high as the chair. I don't know if she's collecting them or what. Those old people, they like to collect those old newspapers. It's kind of cool going through them, though, if you ever find a stack of them like that. And see what happened in that area.
Wow. I have a question. How do you prepare yourself mentally or spiritually before connecting with the spirit world? Is there anything that you have, that you do, over and over, every time you want to connect?
I don't do readings if I'm stressed, so you want to be in a happy-go-lucky mood when you do a reading. I sage. I like to sage. And then I have the smoky crystal. It's about the size of my palm. They usually call them palm stones. And it's about the size of my hand. It helps you focus, like a crystal ball. It's basically just something to focus on, like when women go into labor, they'll tell you bring a focal point. That's basically what a crystal ball is. It's just something to stare into so you can tunnel vision and block out any outer, distractions. But it's just basically, you got to listen. And a lot of people have trouble, they'll say, is that my thought or someone else's thought? But as you use your gift and you hone in on your, you'll get to decipher the difference between what you're thinking and what's being put in your head. Like the very first picture.
How does it work? Do you have a spirit guide that tells you, or does this person speak to you? Does this person speak right to you, or how does it all work?
The very first picture I read of this woman's grandfather that crossed over. As soon as I looked at his picture and into his eyes, I seen him walking his child to a whale, a wishing well, and she was so high, and then she got about 14, and the vision stopped. And come to find out, she was 7 when he first started taking her, and about 14 when he passed away. And that was the very first vision, and so that's what I told her. And I'm always as amazed as they are when I tell them something and, it resonates with them. It tickles me pink.
Are you getting it from the Akashic records? Who's telling you it?
Yeah.
They are. I mean,
the person?
When I looked into his eyes, I got that vision. So for me, I'm assuming he gave it to me. Because their spirits they're not when they cross over, they're not in heaven. They're not overseas or nothing. It's just, there's different realms. So they're right next to us, but they're just in a different realm where we can't see them. But now that we're going into the 5th dimension, that realm's going to start getting, erased. So that's why we're going to start seeing a lot more aliens and other creatures that people don't want to necessarily believe in, but yeah, there's a lot about the world that people don't realize it's actually real.
Yeah, that's another question. That's another question I'll have for you real quick.
That's
how do you? Because we talk about this a lot of times. Me and Danielle are pretty open-minded about a lot of things, even on our personal beliefs and stuff. But on the show, we always say that we leave everything for whoever's listening to the show what they want to believe. But how do you deal with skeptics? I guess how do you deal with people who are very skeptical of what you can do?
Well, yeah, you're always going to have skeptics. I first got into this I started ghost hunting, but then I realized I didn't need the equipment to hear the spirits talk.
Oh, nice.
And the guy I was helping with, he had a spirit from the Devil's Den in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He was during the North and South War, And he brought it back to his house with him. And my husband doesn't believe in it. And so we had him like, hey, Steve, how are you doing? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And they come through the machine, hey, Steve, how are you doing? You know? He's like, no way. You know, he's still, no way. But I was walking in a grocery store, and this little kid was like playing hide and seek. And he come running right at me, and I moved. My daughter was with me. She's like, Mom, what the freak are you doing? I was like, well, that little kid just buried it into me. And she's like, what kid, Mom? And I'm like, oh
no.
Okay. Yeah, so I have those incidents that happen. You know, and
so you have to kind of think about things sometimes.
There's a skeptic around and watches that happening. Well, Mike, you could tell by my reaction that, you know, there was actually something that I moved for.
Right. I like that.
But I was the only one that could see it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm always under the belief that there's
situations like that.
Yeah. I'm always under the belief there's lots of things that other people can do that we don't necessarily can always understand, because some different people can do different things that, I mean, it's just like in life and reality. I mean, outside of this stuff that we talk about, I mean, not everybody can do the same thing. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Your imaginary friends, like your kid, like
right?
One of your spirit guides. Yeah, it's society. Society dims it.
Right.
And it's kind of like Peter Pan, you know, as you get older.
Yeah.
You just forget.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. Yeah.
But and then another thing too, anything is possible if you believe.
Mm-hmm.
Believe is like the number one magical thing in the world. Like Santa Claus, you know, people are not believing in me, but as soon as they start believing in him, you know, perks right back up.
I like it.
So I like voodoo, you know, and stuff like that, and curses. I always tell people, just don't believe. Don't put any. When you believe into something, you put power into it.
Right. Well, that goes. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I mean, there's a big thing in Louisiana with the voodoo and stuff. So yeah, I mean, and if you really believe that, you can actually make that happen. I mean, that's pretty much. I think it's pretty much anything.
It's kind of like self-sabotage in your own life.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you think they put a curse on you, you're just going to actually think, well, this is not going to happen because of that. So yeah, you got to make it. And if you have procrastinate, and then you're going to, the universe is going to give it to you.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
So they say, don't think you're going to be late for work, because you'll be late for work. Say, nope, I'm going to hit every green light, and I'm going to get there with 10 minutes to spare.
Oh my God, that sounds like something I used to do. I'm cracking up. That's great. I love it. Are you homing in on me now? I love it. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I try not to. I don't try to read people unwillingly though either.
Well, that's
that.
Well, then again, though, obviously.
Sometimes things happen.
Right. Well, probably because me and Danielle are pretty open anyway. So I mean, you probably accidentally pull something on us with not even meaning to. I love it.
Me and her, I met her. We talked for like 4 hours the very first time we met, and that was like 23 years ago.
God, that sounds like me and her talking. I love it.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman.
Yeah, she is.
She really is.
She's
full of knowledge too.
53% of Americans actually said that they've been visited, so they believe, like, at least 53%. That's pretty good.
Now, if you wanted to predict on 2024, you're going to see a lot more spiritual things happening.
Really?
Well,
a lot more people are opening up to spirituality. Right. So it's just gonna, it's definitely getting thin. The Earth is like gonna. Well, I don't know if you guys have you ever watched Cryon? The Earth is, and I think Dorian Connor actually talked about this too when she did the past life regression. The Earth is actually gonna like jump. I don't know if it's like another realm, but yeah, the ones that are going into the fifth dimension is going to go in with the new Earth, and the ones that are staying in the 3 dimensions is going to be here. It's a whole controversial thing to talk about. Yeah, it's a whole.
Listen to her, Dolores Claiborne on YouTube.
Yeah,
she talks about.
And then it was similarities, so it's not like she made it up. These people were
Exactly.
She took all the things that were similar with each reading.
Ooh.
Every single person ended up talking about the same thing. Hypnosis. Yeah, under a deep hypnosis. So, past life regression, they all came to the same.
Interesting.
We came here from another galaxy.
Hypnosis has come up in one of our previous.
The hardest thing to accomplish. Earth is the hardest one.
Why is that?
Right. So right here.
Because we have free will.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And the hatred and all that. A lot of spirits come here, and the hatred and the love and the sadness, and they're like, I don't like this. They want to go home.
I can see that too.
I heard another thing today too. A lot of people don't really. Spirits that come and leave real early and come and leave and come and leave. Each time they come and leave, they get smarter. So, like, if you have a child that died at 3, and when they get reincarnated, they know that if they die at 3, they're going to get reincarnated sooner, and they're going to come into the world more intelligent than when they left. So that's kind of a different way to look at things.
Yeah.
Wow.
And handicapped people in wheelchairs and handicapped people, they're paying off really good karma. That's Dorian Connor will tell you about that.
Well, now, wait a minute. Right about...
She goes, every time I handicap people, any handicap or wheelchair people, they're paying off really good karma. So they sign up for this before we come to Earth.
Really?
And if you want to pay off a lot of your karma, they agree to be in the body of a handicap.
Huh.
Yeah, they think, she says we actually plan our death before we come to Earth, which,
Wow.
I don't watch the news, but when I hear things, I'm thinking, how would they think of that one?
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to walk out in front of a bus, and that's why I'm going to die. I'm going to walk out in front of a bus.
I don't know if I really want to plan my death. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You kind of got me thrown on that one.
Yeah, because when I was my 20s, there was somebody that wrecked their car at Trans Am, and the passenger, he lost his head. So it's and you actually fought that up there with God. That you're going to leave your head, and that's how you want to die.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want to know that I planned that out.
Yeah. Because you think of some of these ways these people die. It's how did you think of that?
Right. Oh, that is wild.
Because sometimes I think, God, me and you, we're going to have a discussion about a few things they have down here.
Right?
You said smack me, I don't think you want that, Nancy.
I hear you on that one.
I've just been thinking I was tough cookie, and I wasn't so tough cookie.
That sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your eyes biting off more than you could chew.
Right.
What are the different methods or tools that you use in your mediumship practice?
Crystal.
I like the tarot cards, right? You do tarot cards?
Sage. Yeah, and Sage and Palo Santos. And it depends on each person. I could touch things sometimes and, get the residual energy off of the item and see maybe something I've been known to touch people and actually see things that's happened in their life.
Oh.
Not meaning to, but
awesome.
Yeah.
So that brings another thing. Can you do this over the phone?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Or does it have to be in person?
No, I just want I'm coming into the fact that I'm a natural healer, so I hear that natural healing, you're supposed to be able to do over the phone, because it's mainly just, me concentrating on where you hurt, and then basically just trying to remove it. So that's kind of like what Reiki is about. Like witch doctors, when I was watching Westerns with my dad, I was always just totally involved in when the witch doctor was in there healing that person in the steam. and the herbs and all that. I was just like, I was glued to the TV. So, and I used to run around warming my hands and touching people. It's like, does that feel good?
Wow.
But it's like, you just think about, like, if they have a knee injury, you just think about, just like going in and repairing the knee and removing the, like, swelling and the water retention, and you just kind of vision that the muscle is starting to heal and the bone is starting to heal. Yeah, and you just concentrate on all that healing, and then the same thing if they're sick. You just think about the lungs, and you're pulling all that germ out of the lung, and the lungs starting to turn nice pink again after you're growing up the chest, and the lungs nice and pink underneath, and you're pulling the germ right out of them.
Nice.
Yeah, and then you just concentrate.
So you could, okay, so what if I asked you, okay, Nancy, who's around me right now? Can you do that?
At times.
Over the phone? Like that?
The whole time we've been talking, I've been concentrating on you two, and I have a headache when you're done talking to me. But yeah, at times, I've been concentrating on you guys not having a headache, like, you're keeping your brain relaxed. So when we're done talking, you guys should feel totally, you should almost kind of, I'm trying to get it to where you feel refreshed, actually, instead of like you just had our podcast. But yeah, sometimes if there is,
who's around me right now? Do you have anybody you know that's around me or been around me lately?
When I talk to you, it's usually your dad, and a lot of people don't realize this, but your parents
I think about my dad.
It's very common for a parent to check on you while you're sleeping. I've had a lot of spirits tell me that they check on their kids when they're sleeping because they know it's going to bother them. But the first time I seen my dad was in a dream. I woke up and I could still remember hugging him.
Oh.
And I just love it. We fight dimes. He collected dimes in cigar containers. And I've talked to my brothers and my sisters ever since my dad passed. We find dimes. I mean, you can wipe a counter down. You lift up the toaster and the coffee and all that, and you wipe underneath. And then you go to move it, and there's a dime, which it wasn't there because you just wiped underneath of everything.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, Dad, love you too. So, yeah, when I find out, I love you too, Dad. And I'll be crying or something, having a bad day and picking up clothes and a dime falls out. Oh, Dad, thanks. Telling me you're here for me and I love you, honey. Quit crying. My dad hates crying. I love you. You're going to be okay. It's far from the heart.
Yeah. How do you maintain ethical practices in your work as a medium?
Well, you have to, it's kind of like any job, you have to keep at it. If you slack off, you're going to slack off on your abilities too. I've been seriously depressed, and actually everything shuts down. Matter of fact, it was like 3-4 months ago, 5 months ago, I was sitting here singing, and a spirit running right out of the room, and I'm like, do I stink or something? What the freak? What's your hurry? And then it dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, I finally seen a spirit. I ran downstairs telling my husband, I'm on cloud nine, I seen a spirit. And he's like, what's wrong with you? It was because I was kind of depressed and nothing was happening because my little boy, my baby left home, and it was just, I wasn't being a mom, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I kind of got in a little slump, and everything shuts off for a while. And then when my spirits pick back up, then I hear them. I hear them more than I see them.
So when you're down, you can't actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're sad, that's. You don't ever want to be sad because that's when the devil and low energy spirits can mess with you.
Negative emotions bring in negative.
That gives you a whole different reason to get happy.
Well, that gets my attention.
Happy.
Yeah, if you're depressed, get happy. Yeah, those little energies, they'll mess with you, and they'll just they'll piss you off. And they'll make you even madder, and then they can mess with you even more. So you want to keep joy.
Well, that definitely sounds very familiar about some stuff. Yeah, okay, awesome.
Yeah. So if you have something that you don't feel good about, just keep happy around it, and they can't mess with you. As long as you got joy of the Lord in there, he can't touch you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people if they're afraid or something.
If you
let
don't,
your light shine bright.
Yeah. Since you brought that up, if you don't mind my asking, because I have a ghost hunter that I've interviewed before, and she's a woman of faith, but she's also a ghost hunter. So how do you balance the beliefs with that? If you don't mind my asking.
Well, usually now when you do hone in on your gifts, a lot of times you could feel it before you'll see them. Like when I walk into a place, I can usually feel if there's something there.
Okay.
Like this place when I walked here, I could just tell. Now and where I used to live, all of us, I don't know, there's something about the basement. It would actually make my hair stand up on my. I hated the laundry was out there, the dryer, and the basement was like one of those ones where you go down like into a cellar. I freaking hated going in there. I would not even touch the laundry at night.
Oh wow!
Because it's just creepy. It just felt like something was looking at you.
I can relate to that.
Like those old guts, the Roto-Rooter guys, you got to check if there's a lot of wiring. Wiring can really make you feel eerie.
Oh, okay.
So you got a lot of wires and a lot of electrical in one area. That can cause problems.
Wow.
Because a lot of energy waves.
Interesting.
So, but if there's not that, then, and like Cryon, you'll see it's like a residual, something bad happened there. So it left out the energy. Everything's energy. Trees give you energy. That's why you see tree huggers hugging the tree. It's a way of grounding and get like like when you're sitting out in the dirt and the ground barefoot. Just think of letting go of all the bad, all the way from the top of your head down to your body and out to your toes. Mother Earth will absorb all our bad mojo, and then you're like a nice bright gem shining. You let go of all the low-level attachments that you picked up during the day. And that's what grounding is about, hugging a tree. Because trees, everything's alive. Trees are alive.
Okay.
Everything breathes. It's Mother Earth. Gaia.
Well, I've definitely had some experiences like that.
And, you just, and when you clean your 7 chakras, you almost feel like a brand spanking new baby. Everything that's weighing you down is gone. And that's another thing, too. If you feel weighed down, you want to ground. You want to take all that stuff that's weighing you down and get rid of it and let go.
Danielle would say I've been there a few times on that one. I get that.
I was looking like, carbon monoxide. We breathe carbon monoxide. The trees need carbon monoxide, and they give us oxygen. So Mother Earth takes our bad energy and frees us of all of it.
Awesome.
And then she uses it somehow. Maybe that's where the core of the lava goes, the center of the Earth's lava.
Since you brought this up earlier, I'm going to ask a question here also as well. You said that anyone has the ability, but sometimes they can't home in. I guess is kind of what we were talking about earlier. Do you have any advice for someone who is interested in developing their own abilities?
Well, meditation is a real good way to start. It's becoming at one with the universe. Okay. So if you can shut off all the interferences, electronics, or whatever, and you become with one with the noise, the energy. Like a lot of people, you see people talking with their hands, and they're going in circles toward them. They're bringing stuff to them.
Okay.
If they're going away from them, they're getting things away from them. Like you sit there during the meeting and move your hands, and there's a guy that actually does this for a living.
Okay.
Bring energy to you or take energy away from you. If you're talking to somebody you don't particularly like, you keep moving your hands toward them, and then you're keeping his mojo from.
Oh my goodness, I did that subconsciously, not even knowing what. Oh wow.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I just learned something because not that I really. I guess maybe I guess I'll go along with your dislike. Not really hate anybody or anything. It's just like, but sometimes I've run into because I'm very open with most people. I talk to a lot of people. I interact with a lot of people. You probably already know this because of what I've done with podcasts and everything else. But it's just every once in a while I will run into this person that I just can't seem to be able to deal with. I don't like it because I really like dealing with people most of the time, and it drives me nuts when that happens. It really does.
I use that line like my light is bothering their demons.
Right? Yeah. Something's just not right for some reason, and I don't know why. Yeah, I get that.
It could be a past life karma thing too. They might have made you mad in a past life, and you guys cross paths, and you just automatically know you don't like that spirit.
Wow.
Not that he's done anything to you in this life, last life. Right.
I love it. That's
I know what you did to me last life, but you must have bothered me bad. Yeah.
Awesome.
So you just be nice this time, okay?
Right. Be nice this time. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like my husband sometimes he always messed with his hair all the time. And I used to say, I swear to God, you were the wife last time.
Hey, I gotta tell you something funny really quick, Nancy, about that.
We actually do switch. We do switch roles, and that's another thing Dorian will tell you about. We get to choose whether we want to be the child or the mom or the dad.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you something.
And I told him,
Group we hang out with?
I was definitely the guy. I was like, I'm gonna go up to the bar at 5 o'clock and start talking to the guys. Oh, you ought to see my woman now.
Well, I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you really interesting things since you brought that up, Nancy, about that. Because I have natural wavy hair, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And I have 2 older sisters. I don't think I picked it up from them, but I was doing this one time and not paying any attention to this. And one of my friends said, "My God, you're acting like a." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I've never seen a guy curl mess with his hair like that and like take his."
Yeah.
I was like, and ever since ever since that happened, I'm conscious of it now.
Yeah, she says that gay people are actually a person that was used to be in that sex for so long that even though they're in the opposite body, they still feel like a woman or a guy.
Wow.
And so that's why they're attracted to the same sex, but inside their spirit was so used to being a woman.
Huh. Well, that's a concept I had not heard.
Man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So that I mean, then it starts making sense. Then you understand why they want to wear women's clothes or why women dress like tomboys. Because I was never a girly girl. I call them girly girls. Now that I'm 50, I started wearing pink and stuff, but I was always blue jeans and t-shirts and. That's it. Hair in a ponytail.
Well, we have a lot of women out here that are like tomboys like that. Yeah.
I used to cover our mirrors up for him. I was like, stop looking in the mirror, dude.
Oh, that's funny.
If I was the guy, I was like, are you done getting yourself ready, lady? Can we go now?
Awesome. Danielle, you got anything?
You look pretty just the way you are.
Right. Danielle, got anything else you would like to ask Nancy?
How has your perspective on life and the afterlife evolved through your experiences as a medium?
Oh, major. That was a major change. I used to cry like crazy. When I lost my dad, it was the hardest thing in the world for me. But now I actually know that, hey, they're going to a way better place than us. I mean, actually, to me, you should celebrate death and cry for birth because we're brought here to earth. It's hard.
Right.
But when you get to cross over, oh, you're going back to heaven, and it's absolute heaven. I mean, the grass is the greenest, the flowers are the prettiest, the most smelling, the fruit is just unbelievable. I mean, you're heaven. In each person in your heaven's your own heaven. So it's like nobody's heaven looks the same.
So being a medium has influenced your own spiritual
Yeah, I was at my best friend's mom's funeral, and my sister went out to front because she just couldn't sit there. And her mom was in a wheelchair, and here she comes rolling along. Oh, there's the Marlin sisters. And she's sitting here, she's like, can you believe this shindig, Nancy? And I'm sitting here, trying not to smile in the middle of her funeral. But here she is in a wheelchair chit-chatting with me. And she's like, how come Charlotte didn't get some music going on in here?
Oh, wow.
Everybody's looking so glum. And I'm like, well, you did pass away,
Oh, that is wild.
She's like, where's Mary? And she's up front. Oh, let's go, guys. And then she had somebody pushing her wheelchair to her. Yeah, somebody was pushing her wheelchair. I have no clue who it was. But yeah, she's still sitting in a wheelchair. A lot of times, if you can't walk when you pass over, you can walk when you cross over. But she's just happy in a wheelchair.
Oh, well,
I did catch myself laughing. I was thinking, oh no, people are going to think I'm nuts. And I was going to go tell her daughter, too. I just seen your mom, but, I was like, nah, maybe I better not.
Right. Got to be very careful about that, don't you?
Do you have a place for people? Oh, sorry.
Huh?
Do you have a place for people to be able to reach you?
Well, I tell people, too. That's another thing, too. When you lose somebody, I always tell people, talk to them. They love to hear your fond memories of them.
You have a website?
I mean, yes.
You have a website to direct people?
It's hard to pronounce. Spoilt. SPOILT. I don't know how you would spoil it. It's kind of like spoil it, but spoil it.
Just spell it out for everybody.
Yeah.
S-O, it's like so, S-O, and then SPOILT.com, and then put / Purple Haze, HAZEZ.
Alrighty.
I have a thing with Z's. I don't know why.
Do you,
I do have a thing with Z's. I'm constantly using Z's on the end of a name. If I put a name in and then it won't take it, I put a Z on the end of it.
Danielle, is she
like I have a yellow rosa. I have a yellow rosa. And they're like, what's a rosa? And I said, well, it wouldn't let me have yellow rosa. I put ZA and it let me have it. So I was like, now I'm yellow rosa.
So it's so spoiled. SPOILTZ?
Yep, ILT. Yeah, SPOILT.com.
So spoiled.com /purple
/ yeah, purple haze, AZEZ.
AZEZ.
Z, yeah. My third child had a hamster named Haze.
So spoiled.
And I love purple.
If I don't,
I'm a Valentine's girl.
hey, Danielle, if I don't get that 100% correct, you can shoot that over to me and I can link it if you want, if that's okay.
I was actually pretty nervous, but this has actually been really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun.
Hey, it's been a.
Here. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed having you here, Nancy.
But,
it's been great.
That's another thing I was, people forget, when you're missing them, talk to them. They can come wherever they want, whenever you need them. They can pop wherever they want, like if you got 4 kids, one's in California, think about them, they can pop to the one in Illinois that's thinking about them. And they love to hear what they say, what we have to say. I talk to my dad all the time. I was like, ha, Dad, now I can talk to you all the time. You can't do anything about it.
That's funny.
Yeah, because he called me Jabberjaw, so.
That's
my
funny.
grandpa.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I had something with my face go, and I see my grandma popping the vitamin E tablets. I'm like, you try to tell me I'm sure put the vitamin D on my face, Grandma. Is that what you're trying to say? Thanks for the pointer, Grandma. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, she's supposed to put vitamin E on her skin. So, yeah, you'll find that. Like your parents always telling you something and you don't realize you remember it until you need it. They still do that when they're gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I hooked the battery up wrong, and then it starts smoking, and I can hear my dad laughing right next to me. I'm like, you could have kicked me or something.
Gee, that sounds familiar.
You just sat there and watched the whole show, didn't you, Dad? You loved it, didn't you?
Oh, my goodness.
And I could just hear him chuckling. I was like, geez, Dad, could kick me. Tell me, you're putting it up wrong. Don't look what you're doing.
All righty.
All right.
Danielle, do you have anything else? Do you have anything else with Nancy before we let her go?
I don't think so.
Oh, I like I said, I could talk to you forever.
I know.
Thank you so much.
My grandpa used to have to let me go, and I'm like, yeah, you better let me go, Grandpa, because I'll be talking to you until next year this time.
All right.
All right.
He got cordless phones. He's like, no, I'm not taking you into the bathroom with me. I was like, this ain't no fun, Grandpa. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, Nancy, thank you so much for being our guest on the 13th Destiny podcast today. We appreciate you being here. All right. You have a great day, and thank you.
Have any questions afterwards? You just send me the questions. I'll answer them for y'all.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Y'all have a blessed day.
All right. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for being here on the 13th Destiny podcast today. That was Nancy, our guest, our psychic medium. She was a friend of Danielle's that Danielle has introduced me to, and I was having a great time having her on the show today. I hope you enjoyed her. This is our first guest show. It looks like it went very, very well. And I believe Danielle's actually still on the phone with me. I'm not 100% sure. If you are still there.
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, I thought that's what I thought. Anyway, Danielle's probably going to say goodbye here too as well here in just a second as I close out the show. Danielle, thank you so much for getting Nancy on the show today. I appreciate everything. And I said I hope the guest. I hope you enjoyed our guest. I certainly enjoyed her. It was different. It was nice to do a guest show. Looks like everything worked correctly from what I can tell right now. And we look to do more guest show in the future. We finally got this part done. So one by one, we're knocking down the issues and getting them knocked out. And I want to tell you that I've just about almost got the Patreon fixed, and I should be able to have that very soon. In the meantime, you can still donate to the show directly at the jmagnummodels.com outside the 13th Destiny podcast gmail.com that we use for mostly right now for like just interacting. But I will have the full Patreons done very soon. A few little technical issues I got to work out there, but we will have that soon as well. And we appreciate your support on the show, and thank you for listening today. Danielle, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Yep, support us. Thank you.
Have a
All right.
Have a good week.
Absolutely. Closing out. Thank you for being here at the 13th Destiny podcast. God bless as always, and goodbye.
Word out.